The cave was alive with heat. Fire danced along the black walls, and molten rivers of lava glowed in the cracks of stone. Gold shimmered in the shadows, stacked in mountains, each coin blazing like a small sun. The air was heavy, almost too thick to breathe, and then came the sound. A crack sharp as thunder. Every dragon lifted its head. The great ones, with wings as wide as ships, leaned forward. Their scales glistened red, black, and silver in the firelight. A single egg, larger than a boulder, lay in the center of the gold. The shell shook. Another crack. A flame hissed out from inside. Sparks danced across the cave floor. The dragons whispered among themselves, their deep voices echoing. It begins. The air is coming. Another child of fire. The egg split open. A tiny shape crawled, out wet, shivering, its scales pale like faint embers. The newborn dragon blinked, eyes glowing faintly yellow. For the first time, it opened its mouth and tried to roar. But the sound was not thunder. It was small, weak, almost like the cry of a bird. The older dragons frowned. That sound, one muttered. It is no roar. Too soft. Too weak. The newborn tried again. It coughed. A thin smoke puffed from its mouth. No flame. The cave went silent. From the shadows, a giant dragon stepped forward. His scales burned like living fire, each breath shaking the ground. He was the leader, the father of many in the clan. His eyes, molten gold, studied the newborn carefully. This one, his voice rolled like thunder, this one is small, its flame is weak. A ripple of unease spread across the cave. Another voice, sharp and cold, answered, "A dragon with no fire is no dragon at all." The newborn looked around, confused. Its small claws scratched against the gold coins. It gave another tiny cough of smoke, trying to prove itself. But the bigger dragons only laughed. "Look at it," one sneered. "Barely a spark." "Can it even fly?" another said. The newborn's wings, still wet, shook weakly, but did not lift. Pathetic. The leader's eyes narrowed. He lowered, his head close to the little one. Heat poured from his nostrils, washing over the hatchling like a storm. The baby dragon whimpered but did not move away. "Do you hear them, child?" the leader said, his voice heavy. "They do not accept you. You are not one of us." The newborn shivered. It did not understand why. Its eyes glowed faintly. Filled with confusion, filled with fear. Another dragon roared, "Cast it out! Let the weak one die outside the fire!" The cave shook with their voices. The newborn stumbled backward, pressing its body against the coins as if the gold might protect it. But then something strange happened. The flames in the cave flickered. The rivers of lava hissed, bubbling louder. The newborn's eyes glowed. Brighter for a moment, a soft heat pulsed from its tiny chest. It was not strong fire, not yet, but it was different. The older dragons noticed it, and silence spread. "What is this?" one whispered. "Not fire, not like ours." The leader stared deep into the newborn's glowing eyes. A shadow passed across his face, as though he feared something he could not name. He turned away, growling low. "Leave it," he said at last. "It is no child of fire. It is nothing." The great dragons withdrew, one by one, their wings scraping against the stone. The newborn was left alone, trembling, half buried in the gold. The firelight dimmed, as if the cave itself had turned its back. For a long time, the little dragon lay there. It could hear the echoes of laughter, the whispers of rejection. It curled its tail around itself, trying to stay warm. Then it whispered, though no one could understand, "Why?" The word was small, broken, almost lost to the crackle of lava. From the shadows, an older female dragon, her scales dull with age, lingered. She looked at the little one with softer eyes. She did not speak. She only watched, then turned away with heavy steps. Even she could not defend it. The newborn shut its eyes. Alone in the gold, surrounded by fire, it felt cold. But the story did not end there. A noise came from deeper in the mountain, not the heavy steps of dragons, something else. Light, soft, careful. A sound that did not belong in a den of fire. The newborn's ears twitched, its eyes blinked open. The noise grew closer, echoing faintly like footsteps. It raised its head weakly, confused. Dragons were gone. The great hall of fire was empty, and yet someone was coming. The hatchling shivered, sensing danger, or perhaps something different. It waited in the gold, eyes glowing faint, smoke curling weakly from its mouth. The air grew colder, colder than any dragon flame. The fire seemed to shrink, as though afraid. The newborn's heart beat fast, and in that silence, in that moment, a shadow moved across the golden floor. Not a dragon. Something smaller. Something walking on two legs. The newborn stared. The figure stopped in the firelight, and for the first time, the baby dragon looked upon a human. The little dragon lay on the golden floor, its small body curled against the sharp edges of coins and jewels. Around it, the fire burned bright, but the warmth never reached its heart. The cavern echoed with the laughter of older dragons as they soared out of the mountain, wings beating like thunder. Left behind, the newborn dragon lifted its head. Its pale scales reflected the light of the treasure, but no pride shone in its eyes. It had seen how they looked at it: mockery, rejection, disgust. The baby dragon took a breath, then opened its mouth. Smoke came out again, thin and grey. No, flame. It coughed, shaking with effort. Why no fire? It whispered in its own broken voice. No answer came, only the crackle of lava in the distance. The little one climbed up onto a pile of coins, the gold clinking under its claws. It stared at the endless wealth of the dragon clan. Mountains of treasure stretched as far as it could see, shields from fallen kings, crowns from lost empires, weapons glowing faint with old magic. The air reeked of power, but the baby dragon felt none of it. It tried to spread its wings. They wobbled, still weak and wet. The little dragon jumped off the coins, hoping to glide. Instead, it fell with a crash, the sharp edges of treasure digging into its skin. A voice echoed in its memory. Pathetic. The baby dragon shook its head, trying to fight away the sound. But the more it tried, the louder the whispers became. Too small. No flame. Not one of us. The treasure beneath it suddenly felt heavy. Too heavy. As if each coin pressed down on its chest, stealing its breath. The baby dragon dug its claws into the gold, but it could not escape the weight. It closed its eyes, whispering, "I will show them. I am dragon. I am—" But a harsh voice cut across the cavern. "You? A dragon!" The little one's eyes snapped open. From the shadows, a young but strong dragon stepped forward. His scales were black with streaks of red fire. His eyes burned with cruel delight. He was older, larger, wings already strong enough to carry him into battle. The baby dragon tried to stand tall, but its body shook. I will grow. I will have fire." The older dragon laughed, a cruel, booming laugh that made the gold tremble. "Fire? Look at you. You breathe smoke. Smoke. Even a dying ember has more flame than you." The little dragon's throat tightened. It wanted to answer, but no words came. The older dragon circled him like a predator. "Do you know what the clan says? They say you are a curse, a weakling born to bring shame to our kind. They wish you were never born." The newborn's claws scraped the coins. "Not true?" "Oh, it is true." The older one leaned closer, his breath hot with sparks. "You are nothing. The gold itself hates you." Look at how you sink in it. You do not belong to fire or flame or even to treasure. You are a mistake." The little dragon stumbled back. The gold beneath its claws shifted and slid, pulling it down as if the words themselves had cursed it. It tried to climb, but the bile collapsed, dragging it deeper. The older dragon laughed again, spreading his wings. "Fall, little mistake. Fall into the gold that will bury you. No one will save you." The baby dragon slipped, coins covering its small body. Darkness pressed against it as jewels and crowns tumbled down like an avalanche. Its tiny heart raced. It fought, digging through the weight, gasping, "I will not. I will not." A strange heat pulsed inside its chest. Not fire, not flame, but something else. The coins shifted. For a moment, the pile shook as though something inside pushed back. The newborn forced its head out of the treasure, gasping for air. Its glowing yellow eyes burned brighter than before. The older dragon froze, his laughter cut short. "What is this?" he muttered. "Your eyes! What are you?" The baby dragon crawled free, trembling, but alive. Its chest still glowed. Faintly, a strange light that was not like the red fire of its kin. The older dragon stepped back in unease. Before either could speak, a deep roar shook the cavern. The leader returned. His massive body filled the hall, wings casting shadows over the treasure. His golden eyes burned with authority. "What happens?" "Here," his voice thundered. The older dragon bowed low, his arrogance gone. The hatchling, it was playing in the treasure. "Weak as always. I only laughed." The leader's gaze turned to the little one. The newborn tried to stand tall, though its body still shook. Smoke curled weakly from its mouth, but its eyes glowed with that strange light. The leader frowned. Still no flame. His voice carried disappointment, but also something heavier, something like fear. The older dragon smirked, though carefully hidden from the leader's sight. The leader turned away at last. "Enough. Leave it. It's weakness. We'll finish it soon enough." He spread his wings and flew deeper into the mountain, leaving silence behind. The older dragon leaned close to the hatchling, whispering, "Remember this little mistake. You are alone. Even your father does not want you." With that, he left. The baby dragon stood in the mountain of treasure, trembling, alone again. The gold glittered coldly, each coin a reminder of its failure. No fire, no family, no place. It lowered its head and whispered to itself, "If not them, if not fire, then where do I belong?" Far away, a faint sound drifted into the cavern, not the roar of wings, not the crackle of flame, softer, lighter, like footsteps. The newborn froze, its glowing eyes searching the shadows. The footsteps grew closer. The dragon's heart pounded. Something was coming, and it was not a dragon. The mountain slept, but the baby dragon did not. It lay curled on the hard floor of the treasure hall, its eyes open, glowing faint yellow in the dark. Around it, the other young dragons slept in clusters, their bodies warm against each other. Their wings overlapped, tails curled together. The sound of their breathing filled the cavern like a slow storm. The little one lay apart, alone, pressed against the cold edge of stone. It had tried once, just once, to crawl close to the others, but the moment its wing brushed theirs, a voice had snapped, sharp as claws. "Stay away!" The hatchling froze, looking at the older dragon's burning eyes. "You are not one of us." The voice growled. The little one backed away, heart heavy, and curled itself in the shadows again. It never tried after that. Now, as the cave settled in silence, the young dragon whispered to itself, "Why am I different? Why do they hate me?" The gold sparkled in the dim light, reflecting its small, pale scales. It thought of the leaders. Words, the cruel laughter of the older kin, the endless whispers, weak, mistake, nothing. It closed its eyes, but sleep did not come. Instead, it dreamed with eyes open, dreamed of fire bursting from its throat, dreamt of flying above the mountains, dreamt of the clan cheering its name. But when it tried to roar, only smoke filled the dream. The laughter followed even into its sleep. By morning, the other young dragons raced to the skies, wings cutting through the smoke-filled air. Their cries echoed proudly as they chased each other across the cliffs. The little dragon watched from below, wings trembling, too weak to rise. One of them swooped low, smirking as he passed. "Look!" The smoke breather watches again. Maybe one day it will grow wings strong enough to join us, if it lives that long. The others laughed, the sound fading into the sky. The little one lowered its head. Hours passed. Hunger gnawed at its belly. The clan hunted together, but no one brought food for the rejected hatchling. It crept through the piles of gold, searching for scraps, gnawing on bones long dry. As it chewed quietly, a shadow fell across it. It looked up. An older female dragon, her scales dull with age, stood over it. Her eyes were not cruel like the others. They were tired but softer. "You eat alone," she said quietly. The hatchling swallowed quickly, almost choking. "No one brings me food." The female lowered her head. "The clan sees you as weak, and weakness is feared more than it is pitied." The hatchling's chest tightened. "I am not weak. I will be strong one day." She studied him for a long moment. Then she said, "Strength is not always in fire." The little one blinked. "What do you mean?" But the female said nothing more. She only turned, her heavy steps echoing as she left the hall. The hatchling watched her go, her words burning. Inside, strength is not always in fire. What did that mean? That night, when the others returned from their flight, the hatchling stayed hidden in the shadows. It had grown tired of their laughter, their mocking eyes. It pressed itself deep into the cracks of stone, curling in silence. Alone, the cold felt sharper. The gold did not comfort. The fire in the cavern seemed distant. For the first time, the little dragon wondered if the clan would ever accept it. As it drifted close to sleep, a sound stirred it awake, a noise unlike wings, unlike claws. Light, steady, quiet, the same sound it had heard before. Footsteps. The hatchling froze, heart thumping. It crept forward, eyes glowing faint in the dark. The sound grew closer, echoing against the gold. The hatchling pressed its body low, tail twitching. Then it saw it, a shape, small, walking on two legs, a creature unlike any dragon, a human. The hatchling's breath caught. It had never seen one before, only heard whispers. The clan spoke of humans as prey, weak creatures who feared dragons, who ran screaming at the sight of wings. But this one walked into the den of fire as if pulled by something. The hatchling hissed softly. Smoke curled from its nostrils. The human stopped, eyes widening as they met the dragon's glow. For a long moment they stared at each other, neither moved. Then the human whispered, voice shaking, You're small." The hatchling tilted its head, confused. No human had ever spoken to it. The human stepped closer very slowly. In their hand was a piece of bread, half eaten. They held it out. Hungry. The hatchling blinked. It had only known cruelty, mockery, and silence from its kin. No one had ever offered it food. Its claws dug into the stone. Its chest glowed faintly, that strange heat rising again. It crawled forward, cautious. The human did not move, hand trembling but steady. At last, the hatchling stretched its neck, sniffed, and took the bread in its jaws. It chewed, surprised at the soft, warm taste. The human smiled weakly. "See? Not scary." The hatchling tilted, its head again. No one had ever looked at it like that, not with fear, not with hatred. Something else. For the first time in its small life, the baby dragon felt warmth that was not fire, but a sudden roar shook the cavern. The human jumped, stumbling back. From the shadows, wings unfolded. The older black and red dragon stepped into The firelight, eyes blazing. "What is this?" he growled. "A human in our den." The hatchling froze. The human gasped, fear flooding their face. The older dragon bared his teeth. "I should burn you where you stand." He raised his head, flame gathering in his throat. The hatchling moved without thinking. It leapt in front of the human, wings spread wide though they were small and weak. Smoke curled from its mouth, its chest glowing faint with that strange inner heat. The older dragon's eyes widened in shock. "You protect it?" The hatchling stood firm, though its body shook. "Yes." The older dragon snarled, flames sparking in his jaws. "Then you are not one of us, not dragon, not kin. You are less than nothing." The human clutched the hatchling's back, trembling. The cavern filled with the sound of crackling fire, the hiss of lava, the heavy breathing of dragons. The choice hung in the air, heavy as the gold beneath their claws. For the first time, the little dragon did not care what the others thought. For the first time, it stood not for gold, not for fire, not for kin, but for something else. Something stronger. The older dragon roared, fire ready to strike. The hatchling braced itself, smoke curling, eyes glowing brighter than ever, and the cavern exploded with light. The cavern shook as the explosion of light filled the air. Fire crackled, gold coins rattled down the piles, and even the lava hissed louder, as if shocked. The older dragon staggered back, his eyes wide. The strange glow from the hatchling's chest spread through its small body, bursting out in a flash that was not fire, not flame, something different. The humans shielded their face, blinded by the brightness. When the light faded, the little dragon still stood between them and the older black and red dragon. Its wings trembled, but its glowing eyes stared straight ahead, unflinching. The older dragon growled, "What trick is this? You shine like no kin of fire. What are you?" The hatchling's voice shook, but it did not move aside. "I am dragon." The older dragon bared his teeth, flame burning in his throat. "You dare to stand before me, weakling? You protect a human? Have you lost your mind?" The human clutched the hatchling's scales, their breathing fast. We should run," they whispered, but the little dragon did not move. The older dragon roared, his voice echoing through the chamber. "Dragons do not protect humans. Humans are prey. Their bones belong in our gold, and you—" his eyes narrowed. "You shame us all." He lunged forward, fire blasting from his jaws. The human screamed. The hatchling threw itself down, curling, its wings around the small figure behind it. But the fire never touched them. The strange glow burst out again, like a shield of light. The flames hit it and split apart, burning against the walls, but leaving the hatchling and human unharmed. The older dragon froze, shock twisting his face. "Impossible! Fire cannot be stopped." The hatchling's chest pulsed with that strange light. It was not flame, not smoke, something else, something the older dragon did not understand. The human looked at the hatchling with wide eyes. "You saved me." The hatchling turned its head slightly. "Stay behind me." The older dragon snarled and prepared to strike again, but heavy wings beat against the cavern air. A shadow fell across them all as the leader entered, his massive body filling the chamber. His golden eyes glowed like the heart of a volcano. "What is this noise?" his thunderous voice demanded. The older black and red dragon pointed a claw at the hatchling. "This traitor, it protects a human and worse. It defies fire itself. Its body glows with strange light. It is not dragon, it is a curse." The leader's gaze fell upon the hatchling. The little dragon lowered its wings slightly, but stayed in front of the human, refusing to move aside. The human trembled under the leader's shadow. His claws were as long as swords, his teeth glowing with molten heat. One step from him could crush them both. The leader sniffed the air, his voice low and dangerous. "A human in our mountain, and my blood stands to defend it." His eyes narrowed. "Explain yourself." The hatchling's voice was small but steady. "This human is not enemy." The cavern filled with shocked murmurs from other dragons, who had gathered at the edges drawn by the noise. "Not enemy?" one scoffed. "It speaks madness," another hissed. The leader's wings spread, filling the cavern with a storm of heat. "Dragons bow to no human. Humans bring spears, fire, and death. They steal from us, kill us. They are not friends. They are food." The hatchling shook but stood its ground. "This one is different," the human whispered, voice breaking. I don't want to hurt anyone. I got lost. I only wanted to survive." The leader lowered his head, his molten gaze burning into the little dragon's eyes. "You would betray your kind for this creature?" The hatchling's chest glowed again, faint but steady. "I would protect what others will not." The leader's growl rolled like thunder. For a moment, silence held the cavern. Then his voice struck like a blade. "Then you are no child of fire. You are nothing." The human's eyes widened, fear growing. The older black and red dragon smirked with cruel triumph. The leader turned, his wings stretching wide. "Take the human, burn them, and if the weakling resists, cast it into the lava." The human gasped, stepping back. The hatchling growled, a small sound compared to the roaring dragons around, but full of defiance. "No," it whispered. The leader stopped. His eyes burned. "What did you say?" "No," the hatchling repeated louder, its voice trembling but strong. "You may cast me out. You may call me weak, but I will not let you burn them." The cavern erupted with outrage cries. Dragons roared, wings flapping, fire filling the air. The human cowered, covering their ears against the noise. The leader's claws struck the stone, sparks flying. "Then you are no longer of this clan. You are not dragon, not kin, not fire. You are exile." The hatchling's heart pounded. Its chest glowed brighter, the strange light spilling into its eyes. Exile. The word cut deep, sharper than claws. But when it turned and saw the human's terrified face, something inside steadied. "Then so be it," the hatchling whispered. The leader reared up, flame bursting from his jaws in fury. The cavern shook, gold coins tumbling, lava bubbling higher. The human cried out, clutching the hatchling's scales. "We have to go!" The hatchling spread its weak wings. They trembled, but caught the hot air, lifting them just as the fire struck the ground where they had stood. The blast sent them flying, tumbling through the tunnels of the mountain. Rocks fell, fire chased them. Dragons roared in fury behind. The human clung tight, screaming, "Faster!" The hatchling flapped its small wings with all its strength, its chest glowing brighter with each desperate beat. Smoke trailed behind them as fire blasted from every direction. At last, they burst out into the open night. The cold air struck their faces, the stars above wide and endless. Behind them, the mountain roared with flames, the clan's cries echoing into the sky. The hatchling soared clumsily but free, the human on its back, both trembling, both alive. The human looked down at the glowing scales beneath them, then whispered, Why did you save me?" The hatchling's voice was soft, carried by the wind. "Because you gave me bread, and because you did not turn away." The human's eyes filled with tears. They tightened their hold, not in fear, but in gratitude. The mountain behind them burned, the fire of dragons chasing them into the night. But ahead, the horizon stretched wide, unknown and waiting, and for the first time the little dragon did not feel weak. It felt free. The night stretched wide around them. Stars glimmered faintly through the clouds, and the moon hung pale above the mountains. The little dragon's wings beat unevenly, carrying itself and the human far from the blazing den of its kin. The wind tore at them, cold and sharp. The hatchling's chest glowed faintly with that strange inner light, but its body shook with exhaustion. At last, its wings gave out. With a final weak flap, it fell. The humans screamed as they tumbled through the air. The hatchling twisted desperately, spreading its wings just enough to slow their fall. They crashed through trees, snapping branches, and finally hit the ground with a heavy thud. Leaves and dirt flew everywhere. The human groaned, pushing themselves up. Their clothes were torn, their arms scratched and bleeding. Beside them the hatchling lay still, chest rising and falling with heavy breaths. Hey, wake up, the human whispered, crawling to its side. They pressed a trembling hand against the dragon's warm scales. Don't stop now, please. The hatchling's eyes flickered open, glowing faintly in the dark. Its voice was weak. I cannot fly, father. The human sat back, panting. Then we rest, but not here. If they follow... A distant roar rolled across the night. Both froze. The sound came from the mountains, deep and angry. The clan was searching. The human's eyes widened. They'll find us! The hatchling pushed itself up, though its legs trembled. Come, we must hide. Together they stumbled through the forest. The human leaned against the dragon's side, guiding it past roots and rocks. At last, they found a cave, small and narrow, hidden by vines. The hatchling collapsed inside, curling into a ball. The human crawled beside it, pulling the vines. Back across the entrance, silence returned, broken only by their uneven breaths. The humans sat against the wall, clutching their arm. Blood dripped slowly from the cut. The hatchling lifted its head weakly. You are hurt, it whispered. The human laughed bitterly. You're worse. You almost burned alive for me. The hatchling blinked. I would do it again. The words silenced the human. For a moment they simply stared at each other. Then the human reached into a small pouch at their side. They pulled out a piece of bread, old and rough, but still edible. Here, they said softly. You need it more than I do. The hatchling tilted its head. Food for me. The human smiled faintly. Yes, friends share food. The hatchling's chest pulsed faintly. It leaned forward and took the bread carefully, chewing slowly. Its eyes glowed brighter. Friend, it whispered, testing the word. You are my friend. The human nodded. If you'll have me. The hatchling lowered its head beside. The human, warmth finally reaching its heart. No kin, no fire, no gold had ever given it this feeling. Outside, the forest whispered with wind. Distant roars still echoed, but fainter now. The human and dragon sat in silence, leaning against each other, listening to the night. After some time, the human asked quietly, Why did they cast you out? The hatchling's voice was soft. I am weak. No fire, no flame. They say I am not dragon. The human frowned. They're wrong. You saved me. You faced fire and didn't run. That's braver than all of them. The hatchling tilted its head, confused but touched. Brave? Yes, the human said firmly. Brave. For the first time, the hatchling felt pride. Not for gold, not for fire, but for something else. But their moment of peace broke when the sound of wings thundered above the forest. The human stiffened. The hatchling growled softly, smoke curling from its nose. They are close, it whispered. The human grabbed its arm tighter. We can't fight them. Not like this. The hatchling's eyes glowed faintly, determination burning inside. We do not fight. We survive. The human looked at it, then nodded. Together. The night stretched long. They stayed hidden in the cave, sharing silence and small whispers. The human tore a strip of cloth from their sleeve and tied it around their bleeding arm. The hatchling watched with interest. You fix yourself, it said. The human chuckled softly. I try. The hatchling lowered its head closer. I will protect you. You are mine now. The human's breath caught. Yours? The hatchling blinked. My kin turned away, my fire turned weak, but you did not. You are mine, and I am yours." The human felt their chest tighten, warmth spreading through the fear. "Then we belong to each other." The hatchling closed its eyes, finally drifting into sleep. The human leaned against its warm body, listening to its steady breaths. For the first time in days, they both rested without fear. But dawn came quickly. The light of morning slipped into the cave, painting the walls gold. The hatchling stirred, stretching its wings. The human rubbed their tired eyes. "We cannot stay," the hatchling said. The human nodded. "Where do we go?" The hatchling thought for a long moment. "Away from fire, away from gold. Somewhere they will not find us." The human stood, brushing dirt from their clothes. "Then let's go, together." The hatchling stepped in too, the light wings catching the morning glow. The human climbed onto its back, gripping tightly. With a deep breath, the little dragon flapped its wings, weak but stronger than before. They rose into the air, the forest shrinking below. As they flew, the human whispered, "You don't need fire to be strong. You just need heart." The hatchling's eyes glowed, brighter than ever. For the first time, it felt like those words were true. They soared higher, away from the mountain that had rejected them, into a sky wide with promise. But far behind, hidden in the shadows, another pair of dragon eyes watched. The black and red dragon, the cruel one, followed silently, his wings blending with the clouds. His voice rumbled low, filled with hate. "You cannot escape," he growled. "You are no dragon, and soon you will fall." The hunt had only begun. The morning air was sharp, and the forest below looked endless. The hatchling carried the human on its back, wings trembling with each beat. The human clung tight, whispering encouragement. "You're doing great," they said. The dragon gritted, its teeth. "Wings, still weak, but I can fly." The human smiled faintly. "We'll find somewhere safe." But safety was far. The black and red dragon followed from the shadows of the clouds. His eyes glowed with hatred, his breath thick with smoke. He did not attack yet. He waited. He wanted the hatchling to feel hope before he crushed it. Hours passed. The hatchling's strength faltered. It dipped lower, finally landing in a field of tall grass. Both collapsed exhausted. The human lay back on the ground, breathing hard. The hatchling looked at them. "We must keep moving. They will find us." The human shook their head. "Not yet. You'll break your wings if we push harder. Rest." The dragon closed its eyes reluctantly, curling into the grass. The human leaned against its side, watching the sky, but unease gnawed at their chest. Something was wrong. The air smelled of smoke. Suddenly a shadow crossed the sun. The human's eyes widened. "Up! Get up!" The hatchling lifted its head, weakly, and then the roar shook the field. The black and red dragon landed hard, crushing grass beneath his claws. His eyes burned with cruel fire. "Well," he hissed, "the runt lives." The hatchling staggered up, growling low. The humans stepped in front of it, though their legs trembled. "Leave us alone," the human shouted. The great dragon laughed, a deep sound like thunder. "Leave you? You are nothing, both of you, weak, broken." A shame to dragonkind, the hatchling spread its small wings. "I am not weak," the black and red dragon sneered. "You cannot even breathe fire." "I don't need fire to fight," the hatchling growled. The human placed a hand on its side. "We'll face him together." The black and red dragon's eyes narrowed. "Together? Pathetic. Dragons need no humans. You are a curse, little and I will burn your friend first." Before the human could move, the great dragon unleashed a blast of flame. Heat tore through the air. The hatchling leapt forward, shielding the human with its body. Fire licked across its scales. The hatchling screamed in pain but held its ground. "Stop!" the human cried, pulling at it. "You'll die!" The hatchling's legs shook. "I will not let him harm you." The black and red dragon growled, circling them. So stubborn, so foolish. The hatchling's chest glowed faintly, the strange light within it pulsing stronger than before. The human noticed and whispered, "That light, it's not fire, it's something else. Use it." The hatchling blinked. "Use it?" "Yes," the human urged. "You don't need fire. You already have something inside you." The black and red dragon charged. The hatchling braced itself, heart pounding. The light in its chest flared. Suddenly it burst outward. Not flame, but a wave of burning white energy. It struck the bigger dragon square in the chest, hurling him backward with a roar. The human gasped. "You did it!" The hatchling trembled, shocked by its own power. "I don't understand." The black and red dragon rose, smoke rising from his scorched scales. His eyes burned with rage. "What trick is this?" The human shouted. "It's not a trick. It's who he is." The great dragon roared and lunged again, jaws wide. The hatchling's light flared once more, but weaker this time. The attack only pushed the enemy back a step. The hatchling stumbled, panting. Too weak. The human ran to its side, grabbing its claw. "Then we fight smart. Don't match him in strength. Use speed." The hatchling nodded faintly. The black and red dragon laughed. "You think you can outwit me?" But as he charged again, the hatchling dodged, darting between his legs. The human shouted, "Keep moving! Don't let him pin you down!" The field shook with every strike of the great dragon's claws. Dust rose. The hatchling leapt onto a rock, then sprang onto the enemy's back, clawing at his wings. The black and red dragon roared in fury, thrashing violently. The human ran, throwing stones to distract him. "Over here!" they yelled. The dragon turned, giving the hatchling a chance to leap away before being crushed, but the bigger dragon's tail whipped out, striking the human hard. They fell to the ground with a cry, clutching their side. "No!" The hatchling screamed, rushing to them. The black and red dragon grinned cruelly. "See? The human makes you weak. Without them, you would not hesitate. Without them, you might survive." The hatchling stood protectively over the human, light glowing once more. "Without them, I would not be me." With a roar, the hatchling released everything inside. The light burst outward in a blazing wave, brighter and stronger than before. It struck the black and red dragon full in the chest. The ground shook. Trees bent from the force. The enemy was hurled back, crashing into the hillside with a thunderous crack. Smoke and dust filled the air. The hatchling collapsed, chest heaving, light fading. The human crawled to its side, holding its head. "You did it. You saved us," the hatchling whispered weakly. "Did we win?" The human looked toward the smoking hillside. For a long moment, nothing moved. Then, slowly, the black and red dragon rose. His scales were charred, one wing torn, but his eyes still burned. "This is not over," he growled, voice shaking with rage. "I will hunt you. I will tear you apart." With a final roar, he spread his wings and lifted into the sky, limping but alive. He vanished into the clouds. The hatchling sagged against the ground, exhausted. The human stroked its head gently. "He's gone, for now." The dragon closed its eyes, whispering, "For now." The human held it close. "We'll get stronger, together. Next time, he won't stand a chance." The hatchling opened its eyes slowly, glowing faintly with that strange light. "Together," it whispered. The field grew quiet again. Only the sound of wind remained. The human and the hatchling leaned against each other, broken but alive. They had survived the trial by fire, but both knew deep inside the true war was still coming. The morning fog clung to the mountains as the hatchling and the human moved through the dense forest. Each step was careful. Every sound was amplified in the quiet. The hatchling's wings were still weak from the battle, and the human helped. "Guide it through fallen branches and uneven ground. We need to find shelter," the human whispered, glancing nervously behind them. He could return any time. The hatchling's chest glowed faintly, the strange inner light pulsing with Each step, yes, it said softly. We cannot fight yet. We must hide and grow stronger. A rustle in the trees made them both freeze. The human's hand went to their makeshift dagger. The hatchling lowered its head, ears twitching, but from the shadows emerged not the black and red dragon, but a small fox, eyes bright in the fog. It stopped, watching them, then darted deeper into the woods. The human exhaled slowly. False alarm! The hatchling's eyes followed the fox. It is leading us? The human frowned. Leading us? That's crazy. But something about the fox's movements drew them forward. They followed it carefully, stepping softly, over the moss-covered roots. Soon, the forest opened to a hidden valley, walls of stone on either side shrouded in mist. At the center was a small, sparkling pool of water. The hatchling lowered itself, landing heavily near the edge. Water! We can rest here. The human knelt, letting their fingers trail in the cool liquid. This place, it feels safe, almost like it's hidden from the world. As the hatchling drank, a faint hum filled the valley. The human looked, around, eyes wide. Do you hear that? The hatchling lifted its head, ears twitching. It is not sound from the world. It is something else. Something inside the valley. A sudden shimmer appeared near the pool. Shapes of light danced across the rocks. The hatchling stood tall, wings trembling, glow pulsing brighter. Stay back, it whispered. From the shimmer emerged a figure, tall, robed, face hidden under a hood. Its hands glowed with soft energy, and when it spoke, its voice carried over the valley, calm but powerful. You are the one who carries the light, the figure said. Not flame, not fire, but light, rare and dangerous. The hatchling growled low. Who are you? The figure stepped closer, hands open, not threatening. I am a watcher. I have followed the rise of your kind for many moons. That light you carry, it is not common. It can destroy or protect. It chooses the heart. The human's eyes widened. Light, choosing a heart. The figure nodded. Yes, many dragons breathe fire, many fear humans. But you combine strength and heart in a way no kin has. That is why you survived the clan's fury. The hatchling's glow pulsed brighter, warmth spreading through its small body. Why me? Because you chose differently, the figure said softly. You chose protection over fire. You chose loyalty over kinship. Your heart carried the light even when you did not understand it. The human knelt beside the hatchling. You see, you've always been stronger than you knew. The hatchling blinked, trying to absorb the words. But my wings, they are weak. I almost died. The figure extended a glowing hand toward the dragon. Strength is not only wings and claws. It is courage, choice, and love. This light responds to those things. But it can be dangerous. You must learn to control it before the clan, or worse, returns. The hatchling's chest pulsed. I will try. Good, the figure said. But the path ahead is not easy. There are those who hunt what they do not understand. The black and red dragon, he will return, and others will come, drawn by your light. The humans stood, determination in their eyes. Then we prepare. We survive, together. The hatchling nodded. Together. The figure waved its hand, and suddenly a map appeared, shimmering in the air. Rivers, mountains, hidden caves. All paths unseen by ordinary travelers. Follow this path. It will lead you to safety and knowledge. But beware, every choice you make will test your heart, and trust can be dangerous. The human studied the map. We'll need to move quickly. He's still out there. The hatchling's glow dimmed slightly, a mixture of fear and hope. We can do it. The figure stepped back, merging with the shimmer, vanishing as suddenly as it appeared. The Valley returned to quiet, the hum fading. For a long moment the human and the hatchling looked at each other. "We have a guide now," the human said, "and a path." The hatchling nodded. "But the journey will be dangerous." The human rested a hand on its shoulder. "Then we face it together. We have to." They spent the night in the hidden valley. The hatchling rested, its wings mending slowly. The human cleaned and dressed their wounds. The bond between them deepened, a silent promise of loyalty and protection. But as dawn approached, a faint shadow passed over the valley. The black and red dragon's silhouette glided high above, eyes scanning the valley. "You're still alive," it growled, voice low and filled with rage. "And soon you will pay for defiance." The hatchling lifted its head, glowing faintly, wings stretching. "I am ready," it whispered. The human nodded, gripping a small dagger. "Then let him come. We're not hiding forever." The valley held its breath. The path ahead was unknown, filled with danger, but also hope. And for the first time, the hatchling and the human felt the power of their bond, a light that burned, stronger than fear. With a deep breath, the hatchling spread its wings. The human climbed onto its back. Together, they took off into the sky, following the hidden path, leaving the safety of the valley behind. Far below, the black and red dragon roared in frustration. High above, the watcher's words echoed in the hatchling's mind. Strength is not only wings and claws, it is courage, choice and love. And somewhere deep inside, the hatchling knew the real journey was only just beginning. The sky was dark with storm clouds as the hatchling and the human approached the cliff overlooking the valley. Lightning flashed in the distance, illuminating the jagged mountains. The air smelled of rain and smoke. The black and red dragon had been tracking them for days, and now he was close. "We're running out of time," the human said, gripping the hatchling's scales tightly. "He's coming, and soon." The hatchling's chest glowed faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. "I know, but I feel stronger now, the light. It is ready." A shadow passed above them. The human looked up just in time to see the black and red dragon diving, wings spread, claws extended. "Hold on!" the human shouted. The hatchling roared, leaping into the air with a burst of speed. Lightning cracked above them as the larger dragon pursued relentlessly. "You will not escape!" The enemy roared, fire igniting along his jaws. The human pressed their face against the hatchling's neck. "We have to fight smart, not just with power, but with heart." The hatchling blinked, understanding. "Heart," it whispered. The black and red dragon lunged, but the hatchling twisted mid-air, glowing brighter, dodging the flames. Sparks and smoke filled the air as the two dragons circled each other above the cliff. "You cannot win!" the enemy bellowed. "You are weak. No fire, no kin, no power." The hatchling's glow flared suddenly, brighter than before. "I have something you do not," it shouted. "I have courage." The black and red dragon roared and struck again, claws flashing. The hatchling flapped its wings hard, dodging and weaving. Every movement seemed guided not by strength but by instinct and trust in the human on its back. "Now!" the human yelled. The hatchling understood instantly. Together they dove toward the cliff's edge. The black and red dragon followed, too fast, too angry. But just as he closed in, the hatchling released its inner light fully. A brilliant wave of white energy that spread outward like a shield. The larger dragon slammed into it, roaring in pain as the energy pushed him back. The human gasped. "It's working!" The hatchling's chest glowed hotter, light spilling over the cliff, blinding and powerful. The black and red dragon struggled to rise, wings burning, eyes wide with shock. What is this?" "It is you," the human shouted, holding on. "Your heart is stronger than fire." The hatchling felt it, every bit of fear, every doubt transforming into power. The light surged forward, wrapping around the enemy, forcing him to land on the cliff. He fell to his knees, smoke curling from his charred scales. The hatchling hovered above him, wings spread, glowing fiercely. "I choose Protection, not destruction. The human touched the hatchling's side. You don't have to hurt him. Just show him what matters. The hatchling nodded. The light softened, flowing over the black and red dragon, not burning, not harming, but revealing. Memories, feelings, and choices flickered across his eyes. He saw what he had lost, the fear he had created, the pain he had caused. The enemy growled softly, but it was not fire. It was confusion, fear, and awe. Why? Why didn't you kill me? He rasped. The hatchling glowed softly, chest pulsing like a heartbeat. Because I choose differently. I do not destroy what I do not understand. I protect those I care for. The human smiled. You see, there is more than fire and gold. There is courage. There is heart. The black and red dragon lowered his head slowly, smoke rising from his wounded wing. I have been wrong, he said, voice barely audible. The light, it is not weak. It is stronger than fire. The hatchling's glow dimmed, relief filling its chest. Then you will not follow us? The enemy looked away, struggling to stand. I cannot, my pride, my clan, I must return. Then leave us in peace. The hatchling said softly, wings folding. The black and red dragon hesitated, then spread his wings, glancing back once. Perhaps one day I will understand, he muttered. With a heavy beat, he took off, disappearing into the storm clouds. The hatchling let out a long breath, sinking toward the cliff. The human slid off its back, hugging its small neck tightly. We did it, they whispered, tears in their eyes. We actually did it. The hatchling blinked, glowing faintly, exhausted but triumphant. We survived. The human laughed, softly. No, we thrived. Together. The storm began to break, sunlight spilling across the mountains. The valley below was bathed in gold. The wind carried a promise of freedom, and for the first time in weeks they could breathe without fear. The hatchling looked at the human. What now? The human smiled, brushing dirt from their clothes. Now we find a new home, somewhere safe, somewhere we can learn more about your light, and be free from those who cannot understand it. The hatchling nodded, wings stretching. I want that, but I will always protect you. And I will always protect you, the human replied, no matter what. They stood at the edge of the cliff, gazing at the valley below, feeling the warmth of sunlight on their backs. The hatchling's glow pulsed softly, a heartbeat of hope and courage. From somewhere in the distance, the watcher's words echoed, faintly in the hatchling's mind. Strength is not only wings and claws, it is courage, choice, and love. Yes, the hatchling whispered, and now I know. With a deep breath, the hatchling leapt into the air, carrying the human into the sky. Their bond was stronger than ever. Their light, once feared and misunderstood, shone brightly, a beacon of hope in a world that had rejected them. Together they flew toward the horizon, free at last, the trials behind them, the future wide open. And for the first time, they did not fear the storm, the mountains, or the dragons that had hunted them. They had chosen heart, they had chosen courage, and they had chosen each other. The world below was vast and full of possibilities, and in that moment, the little dragon and the human understood. True strength had always been within them, bound together by trust, love, and the light that could never be broken. The storm cleared completely, sunlight glimmering on their path. The future awaited, and they soared unstoppable.